Welcome to this engaging journey through Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erikson, a book that flips the way we think about communication, relationships, and understanding human behavior. Have you ever felt frustrated because someone just didn't get you? Or maybe you've clashed with a boss, coworker, or even a family member, leaving you wondering, why is it so hard to connect? If that sounds familiar, this book is for you. At its core, Surrounded by Idiots is about unlocking the secret to better relationships at work, at home, and beyond. Using a simple yet powerful tool called the DISC personality framework, Erikson breaks down why people act the way they do and how you can adapt to bring out the best in everyone. Whether you're a leader, a team member, or someone looking to improve your personal relationships, this book will give you actionable strategies to reduce conflict, foster understanding, and become a more effective communicator. Stick with us as we break down the chapters in an easy-to-digest, audiobook-style narrative, filled with insights, relatable examples, and tips you can use right away. And if you enjoy learning about human behavior and personal growth, make sure to stick around until the end for a special takeaway. Now, let's dive into the colorful world of reds, yellows, greens, and blues and learn how to transform your interactions with the people around you. Let's begin with a big truth about communication. It's not about you. That's right, it's all about the person listening to you. Every word you say is filtered through their unique biases, preconceptions, and worldview. In other words, what they hear may not be what you intended to say. Frustrating, isn't it? But it's a reality we can't escape. Thomas Erikson drives this point home. Good communication isn't about hammering your ideas into someone's head, but about adjusting how you communicate to match their style. It's about creating a secure and familiar environment for the listener, so they can focus on understanding your message rather than reacting defensively to your tone, words, or delivery. Here's an actionable takeaway. Be flexible. Think of communication as a two-way street. You have to step into the other person's shoes. Are they more logical? Keep your points concise. Are they emotional? Focus on empathy and connection. This kind of adaptability not only strengthens relationships but also makes you a more effective communicator. So, if you've ever wondered why some conversations feel like hitting a wall, Chapter 1 gives you the first clue. It's not what you say, it's what they hear. Now that we've got communication basics down, let's explore why people behave the way they do. According to Erikson, our behavior is shaped by a mix of two big influences: heredity and environment. You're born with certain traits, sure, but the environment, your upbringing, experiences, and even societal norms polishes or reshapes these tendencies. Erikson introduces the idea that our behaviors are layered. At the deepest level are our core values, unchangeable beliefs shaped early in life. These are the principles that guide our actions, like treating others with respect or valuing hard work. On top of that sit our attitudes, which are more malleable. They're shaped by life experiences and can shift over time. The outermost layer? Moderated behavior, the mask we wear depending on the situation. For instance, you might act differently with friends than with your boss or in-laws. But here's the catch. We're not always aware of how others perceive us. This misalignment between intent and perception can lead to misunderstandings. Takeaway time. To improve relationships, try this. Observe your mask and how others respond to it. Pay attention to how your actions might be perceived and adjust accordingly. Remember, behavior isn't about right or wrong, it's about understanding and adapting. Now we dive into the heart of Erikson's framework, the DISC system, or DISC, as it's often called. This system categorizes human behavior into four main types, each represented by a color. 1. Red, the dominant doer. Bold, ambitious, and decisive. Reds are natural leaders who love challenges, but they can also be impatient and steamroll over others. 2. Yellow, the enthusiastic optimist. Fun-loving, outgoing, and creative, yellows bring energy to any room. However, their excitement can lead to a lack of follow-through. 3. Green, the calm stabilizer. Dependable, supportive, and relationship-focused, greens are the glue that holds teams together. Their downside? Resistance to change. 4. Blue, the analytical perfectionist. Precise, detail-oriented, and logical, blues thrive on structure. But they can be overly critical and slow to make decisions. Here's the twist. Most people aren't just one color. About 80% of us are a blend of two dominant traits, while the rest have a mix of three or even all four. Understanding these categories isn't about boxing people in. It's about recognizing patterns and adapting to them. Takeaway: the next time you're in a group, play a mental game. Spot the reds charging ahead, the yellows chatting up everyone, the greens quietly observing, and the blues double-checking every detail. This awareness is your first step to better relationships. The reds, the go-getters, the trailblazers, the people who charge into every situation with an unshakable sense of purpose. These are the ones who love to take charge and get things done. Think of a typical CEO or a driven entrepreneur, and you're likely imagining a red. Reds thrive on action and results. They love challenges and don't shy away from risks. Need a decision made? A red will jump in without hesitation. Their motto: better done than perfect. And their energy is contagious. Having a red on your team can push everyone to achieve more. But reds aren't all sunshine and success. Their drive can sometimes come across as abrasive or domineering. They might bulldoze over others' opinions or seem impatient in meetings. They're not doing it out of malice, it's just that their focus is so laser-sharp on results that they might miss the human element. So, how do you deal with a red? First, don't take their bluntness personally. They value directness. Second, speak their language. Be concise, get to the point, and, if possible, highlight the tangible outcomes of your ideas. Reds respect competence and efficiency, so show them you're on the same wavelength. Takeaway: when working with a red, remember they're driven by progress, not perfection. If you can keep up with their pace and match their energy, you'll have a powerful ally. Let's meet the yellows, the shining beacons of positivity and creativity. Yellows are those people who light up a room the moment they walk in. Their energy so infectious that even the grumpiest among us can't help but crack a smile. They thrive on relationships, connecting with others effortlessly, and they're often the life of the party. Yellows live for excitement, new ideas, and endless possibilities. To them, life is an adventure, and every challenge is just another story waiting to be told. Yellows are big dreamers, and their enthusiasm knows no bounds. They're the ones who see potential where others see problems, who believe in the power of collaboration and shared joy. They don't just want to succeed, they want everyone around them to succeed too. But here's the catch. Their boundless optimism can sometimes make them overly idealistic, and their love of starting new things often leaves a trail of unfinished projects. Focus isn't their strong suit, but their charm and charisma make up for it. To work with a yellow, you need to appreciate their big-picture thinking and infectious energy. Encourage their ideas, but gently guide them toward practical steps to make those dreams a reality. If you can help a yellow channel their creativity into focused action, you'll unlock a powerhouse of innovation and inspiration. Yellows remind us of the joy that comes from human connection and the value of embracing life's brighter side. They teach us that optimism can be a powerful tool, but only if paired with discipline and follow-through. As we leave the world of yellows, it's worth asking yourself, how can you bring a bit more of their positivity and energy into your life? Now we step into the world of greens, the steady, reliable anchors of the human spectrum. Greens are the people who keep things running smoothly, often without drawing attention to themselves. They value harmony, consistency, and relationships above all else, making them the quiet glue that holds groups together. While the reds charge ahead and the yellows dazzle with their energy, greens are there to ensure everyone feels valued and included. Greens are naturally kind and empathetic, always putting the needs of others before their own. They're the ones who remember birthdays, check in when you're feeling down, and lend a listening ear without judgment. Their patience and calm demeanor make them approachable and trustworthy, and their loyalty is unmatched. But this same desire to avoid conflict and keep the peace can sometimes make them resistant to change. Greens prefer the familiar and may struggle to adapt to new situations or step out of their comfort zone. Working with greens requires patience and understanding. They thrive in environments where they feel safe and supported, so avoid pushing them too hard or forcing them into high-pressure situations. If you want to bring out the best in a green, show them that change doesn't have to disrupt harmony and that their input is crucial to the success of any team. Greens teach us the importance of slowing down, listening, and fostering meaningful connections. They remind us that progress doesn't always come from bold leaps. It can also be found in the steady, thoughtful steps that build a solid foundation. As we leave the greens behind, consider how their quiet strength can inspire your own approach to relationships and teamwork. Blues are the detail-oriented thinkers who thrive on structure, logic, and precision. If reds are about action and yellows about ideas, blues are about getting things right. They're the ones who read the fine print, double-check the numbers, and ensure that every decision is backed by data. Blues bring order to chaos, and their meticulous approach ensures that nothing is left to chance. They are the perfectionists who find satisfaction in solving complex problems and delivering work of the highest quality. Blues excel in environments where rules are clear, expectations are defined, and there's room for deep analysis. They're the planners, the researchers, and the strategists who keep projects on track. But their focus on perfection can sometimes be a double-edged sword. Blues may get so caught up in the details that they lose sight of the bigger picture or struggle to make decisions for fear of getting it wrong. Their high standards can also make them critical of others, though this often stems from a desire to help rather than to judge. To collaborate effectively with a blue, respect their need for thoroughness and give them time to process information. Provide clear instructions and logical reasoning, and avoid pressuring them to make hasty decisions. Blues value competence and consistency, so show them that you've done your homework and can meet their expectations. Blues remind us of the value of careful planning and the importance of holding ourselves to high standards. They teach us that while speed and creativity are important, true excellence often lies in the details. As we transition out of the world of blues, think about how their precision and dedication can inspire your own work and relationships. With the four colors now vividly painted, this chapter weaves them together into a practical guide for recognizing and working with different personality types. The key to understanding others is learning to identify the behavioral patterns that define them. Reds stand out with their decisiveness and drive, yellows with their charm and enthusiasm, greens with their calm and kindness, and blues with their attention to detail and logic. Each color brings something unique to the table, and Erikson emphasizes that the magic lies in appreciating these differences rather than judging them. The real power of the disc system is its applicability in everyday life. Whether you're managing a team, navigating family dynamics, or building friendships, knowing how to adapt to each color can dramatically improve your interactions. For instance, when dealing with a red, focus on results and efficiency. With a yellow, emphasize connection and positivity. Greens appreciate patience and reassurance, while blues thrive on clarity and structure. But here's the golden rule. It's not just about understanding others. It's about understanding yourself too. Recognizing your own dominant colors allows you to see how your behavior affects those around you and where you might need to adjust. By mastering this balance, you can build stronger, more harmonious relationships and become a better communicator. As Erikson concludes this section, he leaves us with a simple yet profound challenge: to see the world not as a collection of opposites but as a vibrant spectrum of complementary traits. The reds, yellows, greens, and blues all have their strengths and weaknesses, and together they create a richer, more dynamic world. So, as you continue your journey through the colors, remember this. Understanding others begins with a willingness to see the beauty in their differences. Now that we've explored the four colors individually, this chapter focuses on how to identify the colors in the people around you. Erikson dives into the practical skill of observation, helping you spot patterns in behavior and communication that reveal someone's dominant color. Think of it as putting on a new pair of glasses once you learn to look. The colors are everywhere. Reds, for example, are easy to notice. They're direct, assertive, and never shy about taking charge. They're the ones who cut through long-winded discussions with a quick, decisive, "Here's what we're going to do." Yellows, on the other hand, are the talkative, enthusiastic ones, often the center of attention, drawing people in with their stories and contagious laughter. Greens, in contrast, are quieter. They're the ones listening, nodding, and offering a calm, steady presence, often deferring to others in group settings. And then there are the blues, who are usually found analyzing, questioning, or perfecting a process. They're the ones who ask the tough questions that others avoid, ensuring everything is accurate and thorough. Erikson emphasizes that these traits aren't black and white. Most people exhibit a mix of colors, and you'll need to sharpen your observation skills to see which traits are dominant. The key is to focus on consistent behaviors, what someone does repeatedly, especially under stress. Stress, Erikson notes, tends to amplify our natural tendencies, making it easier to spot a person's core color. Actionable takeaway. Start observing the people in your life. Who's the red at your workplace pushing deadlines? Who's the yellow always suggesting after-work drinks? Who's the green quietly helping everyone else succeed? And who's the blue triple-checking the details? By paying attention, you'll start to see how these behaviors align with the colors. This chapter is all about celebrating the strengths of each color. Erikson reminds us that no one color is inherently better than the others. They all bring unique value to the table. Reds excel in leadership and quick decision-making, driving progress with their confidence and determination. Yellows inspire creativity and connection, fostering an atmosphere of optimism and innovation. Greens create stability, offering loyalty and compassion that keep relationships and teams strong. And blues ensure quality and precision, safeguarding against careless mistakes and sloppy execution. The beauty of these differences, Erikson argues, lies in their complementarity. In any team, a balance of colors creates harmony. Imagine a workplace with only reds. Sure, decisions would get made quickly, but without the creativity of yellows, the calm of greens, or the detail-oriented nature of blues, those decisions might lack depth or longevity. Conversely, a team of only blues might achieve technical perfection, but progress could stall without the drive of a red or the energy of a yellow. Erikson encourages us to shift our perspective from frustration to appreciation. Instead of seeing a red as pushy or a yellow as scattered, recognize the value they bring. By focusing on strengths rather than weaknesses, you can foster better collaboration and reduce conflict. Takeaway: when working in groups, think about what each person's dominant color might contribute. If a conflict arises, consider whether it stems from a clash of strengths rather than a true disagreement. Understanding this can transform frustration into productive dialogue. This chapter delves into a fascinating paradox. The very traits that make each color strong can also become their greatest weakness. Reds, for example, are natural leaders, but their drive to win can make them domineering or insensitive to others' needs. Yellows bring energy and creativity, but their enthusiasm can sometimes come across as flaky or unreliable. Greens are wonderfully supportive, yet their resistance to change can make them passive or indecisive. And blues, with their love of precision, can become overly critical or paralyzed by perfectionism. Erikson emphasizes that no one is immune to this. Even the most self-aware person can fall into these traps, especially under pressure. The key is to recognize when your strengths are tipping into excess and learn how to pull back. For example, a red who notices they're bulldozing through a meeting can consciously slow down and invite others to contribute. A yellow who realizes they've overcommit can take a step back and focus on following through. The chapter also highlights the importance of empathy in managing these weaknesses in others. If a green colleague seems hesitant to act, it's not laziness, it's a fear of conflict or failure. If a blue boss is nitpicking, it's because they care deeply about getting it right. By understanding the root of these behaviors, you can respond with patience and support rather than frustration. Actionable takeaway: reflect on your own dominant color. What are your strengths, and when have they veered into weakness? Practice self-awareness, and use this understanding to empathize with others when their strengths become overbearing. This chapter ties it all together with practical advice on how to adapt your communication style to each color. Erikson argues that effective communication isn't about being rigid, it's about meeting people where they are. Think of it as speaking their language. For reds, be direct and results-oriented. Skip the small talk, get to the point, and show them how your idea leads to tangible outcomes. They'll respect you for it. With yellows, focus on positivity and enthusiasm. Engage them in conversation, acknowledge their ideas, and match their energy. For greens, take a more patient and supportive approach. Listen to their concerns, offer reassurance, and give them time to process change. And with blues, be precise and detailed. Provide facts, logic, and clear instructions, and avoid rushing them to make decisions. The beauty of this approach, Erikson notes, is that it fosters deeper connections and reduces misunderstandings. By showing others that you respect their unique style, you make it easier for them to trust and collaborate with you. Takeaway: practice tailoring your communication to the colors in your life. The next time you're in a meeting, notice who responds to which style. Are they energized by enthusiasm or reassured by structure? This simple act of adaptation can transform how you interact with others, both personally and professionally. And with that, Erikson leaves us with a powerful reminder. Communication is a skill, not an innate talent. The more you practice observing, understanding, and adapting, the more harmonious your relationships will become. It's not about changing who you are, it's about embracing the diversity around you and learning how to thrive within it. Conflict is inevitable when people with different personality types interact. Reds, yellows, greens, and blues approach challenges and disagreements in distinct ways, and this chapter unpacks how these differences often create misunderstandings. Erikson highlights that many conflicts stem not from malicious intent but from a lack of understanding about how others think and behave. Reds, for instance, are confrontational by nature. They see conflict as a means to solve problems and move forward. Yellows, on the other hand, often avoid conflict altogether, preferring to focus on positive interactions. Greens shy away from confrontation, seeking to maintain harmony at all costs, while blues approach conflict with a focus on logic and facts, which can sometimes come across as cold or overly critical. The key to resolving these clashes is adjusting your approach based on the other person's color. With a red, stand your ground and focus on solutions. They respect strength and decisiveness. For a yellow, keep things light and avoid harshness. They'll respond better to a collaborative, optimistic tone. With a green, take a gentle approach, showing patience and understanding to avoid overwhelming them. And for a blue, rely on facts and reason, steering clear of emotional appeals. The biggest takeaway: conflict isn't inherently bad, it's an opportunity for growth. By understanding the root causes of disagreements and tailoring your response, you can turn potential arguments into meaningful discussions that strengthen relationships. This chapter is all about self-awareness. Erikson argues that before you can effectively understand or adapt to others, you must first understand yourself. What's your dominant color? How does it influence your behavior, strengths, and weaknesses? And most importantly, how do others perceive you? For example, a red may see themselves as confident and decisive, but others might view them as intimidating or pushy. A yellow might think of themselves as fun and energetic, while others see them as scattered or unreliable. Greens may pride themselves on being dependable, but their resistance to change might frustrate others. And blues, with their meticulous nature, can come across as overly critical or rigid. Erikson encourages readers to reflect on how their behavior impacts those around them. Are your strengths serving you, or are they tipping into excess? Are you unintentionally alienating people by failing to adapt your style? Self-awareness is the first step to personal growth and better communication. The practical advice here is to ask for feedback. Talk to trusted colleagues, friends, or family members about how they perceive you. Their insights can help you identify blind spots and make adjustments to improve your interactions with others. If you've ever struggled to connect with someone who seems completely different from you, this chapter offers hope. Erikson dives into how you can strengthen relationships with each of the 4 colors by focusing on their unique needs and preferences. Reds, for instance, thrive on efficiency and respect. They don't want drawn-out conversations or excessive details, they want action and results. Yellows value connection and positivity. They need to feel appreciated and included in the bigger picture. Greens, on the other hand, crave stability and trust. They want to feel safe and supported in their relationships. Blues prioritize clarity and structure, seeking honesty, precision, and well-thought-out communication. The secret to building better relationships lies in bridging the gap between your natural style and theirs. If you're a yellow, tone down your enthusiasm with a blue and focus on presenting clear, logical points. If you're a green, step out of your comfort zone with a red by being more assertive and direct. The goal isn't to change who you are, but to meet others where they are, creating a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. The chapter ends with a reminder that relationships thrive on effort and intentionality. By practicing these strategies consistently, you can deepen your connections with people from all walks of life. In this chapter, Erikson shifts focus to teamwork, showing how the DISC system can transform group dynamics. Teams are often made up of individuals with different dominant colors, and understanding these differences is key to unlocking their full potential. A well-balanced team benefits from the strengths of all four colors. Reds drive progress and ensure decisions get made. Yellows bring creativity and foster a positive atmosphere. Greens provide stability and ensure everyone feels included. Blues ensure quality and attention to detail, catching issues others might miss. But challenges arise when these differences clash. A red might grow impatient with a blue's need for thoroughness, while a yellow might frustrate a green by pushing for rapid change. Erikson emphasizes the importance of recognizing these potential friction points and addressing them proactively. One strategy he suggests is role alignment, assigning tasks that play to each color's strengths. For example, let a blue handle the planning and analysis, while a yellow takes charge of brainstorming and creative tasks. Reds can lead and drive decisions, and greens can focus on maintaining harmony within the group. Another key point is communication. Teams function best when members feel understood and valued, so take the time to adapt your communication to each person's style. Encourage open dialogue, where team members can express their needs and preferences without fear of judgment. The chapter concludes with a powerful reminder: diverse teams are stronger teams. By embracing the unique strengths of each color and learning to navigate their differences, you can create a team that is not only productive but also deeply connected and resilient. Stress brings out the rawest versions of our personalities. In this chapter, Erikson explores how each color reacts when the pressure is on, offering insights into their coping mechanisms and how their behavior shifts when pushed to their limits. Reds, for example, double down on their natural traits under stress, becoming even more demanding and forceful. Their impatience skyrockets, and their focus narrows entirely on solving the problem as quickly as possible, often at the expense of others' feelings. Yellows, on the other hand, try to maintain their upbeat and positive facade, but stress can make them scatterbrained and even more impulsive. Their charm may fade into nervous energy, and they may overpromise in an attempt to regain control. Greens tend to withdraw when stressed, becoming even quieter and more resistant to change. They seek to avoid conflict at all costs, which can leave problems unresolved. Blues, predictably, retreat into overanalysis. They hyper-focus on details, becoming rigid and overly critical, fearing mistakes more than ever. The key takeaway here is empathy. When you recognize how stress amplifies someone's behavior, it becomes easier to respond with patience instead of frustration. If a red is being overbearing, focus on clear, decisive action. With a yellow, offer reassurance and help them prioritize. For greens, give them space and approach them gently. For blues, present facts and provide structure to help them regain their confidence. Stressful situations are inevitable, but Erikson reminds us that understanding these patterns can help us defuse tension and support each other during challenging times. Some people just seem impossible to deal with, don't they? Erikson reframes this challenge, showing that what we often label as difficult is really just behavior we don't understand. This chapter dives into practical strategies for adapting to personalities that clash with our own, emphasizing that the key lies in understanding their motivations and fears. For example, if a red seems overly aggressive, it's often because they fear losing control. Instead of pushing back, match their decisiveness and offer solutions they'll respect your approach. If a yellow comes across as unreliable, understand that their need for excitement can make them lose focus. Help them stay on track with gentle reminders and positive reinforcement. Greens may frustrate you with their indecision, but they're often just afraid of making a mistake. Show them that it's okay to take risks in a safe and supportive way. And with blues, their critical nature usually stems from a deep fear of failure. Provide them with clear plans and encourage their attention to detail without overwhelming them. Erikson stresses that dealing with difficult personalities isn't about changing them. It's about adjusting your approach. By focusing on what drives their behavior, you can reduce friction and build more productive relationships, even with people who initially seem like opposites. Motivation is not one size fits all, and this chapter focuses on how to inspire action in others by tailoring your approach to their dominant color. Reds are motivated by results. They thrive on challenges and clear goals, and they want to know what's in it for them. To get a red on board, focus on efficiency and outcomes. Yellows, however, are driven by excitement and relationships. They need to feel included and inspired. If you want to motivate a yellow, make the process fun and show them how their efforts will positively impact others. Greens value stability and relationships above all else. To motivate them, focus on teamwork and offer them reassurance. Let them know their contributions matter, and avoid pressuring them with sudden changes. Blues are motivated by precision and order. They need clear instructions, logical reasoning, and enough time to prepare. If you want to motivate a blue, give them the facts and avoid ambiguity. Show them how their work fits into the bigger picture while respecting their need for thoroughness. The lesson here is simple but profound. Motivation works best when it aligns with someone's core values. By taking the time to understand what drives each color, you can inspire action in a way that feels authentic and meaningful. This chapter is about creating spaces, whether at work or in personal life, where everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute their best. Erikson emphasizes the importance of balance. Reds need autonomy and opportunities to lead, but they also need others to temper their impatience. Yellows need freedom and social interaction but benefit from structure to keep them grounded. Greens need stability and a supportive atmosphere, but occasionally need encouragement to step out of their comfort zone. Blues need order and clarity but also need reminders to not get bogged down in perfectionism. Erikson suggests fostering open communication where people can express their needs and preferences without fear of judgment. He also highlights the power of diversity. A team with all four colors working in harmony is stronger than one dominated by a single personality type. The challenge lies in navigating these differences with respect and adaptability. By recognizing each color's needs and creating an environment that supports them, you can unlock the full potential of any group. Erikson reminds us that thriving doesn't happen by chance, it's a result of intentional effort and mutual understanding. In this final chapter, Erikson zooms out to show how the DISC system applies not just to individuals and teams but to society as a whole. He argues that the world is at its best when we embrace the richness of diversity. Each color brings something unique to the table, and it's through this blend of strengths that we achieve progress. Reds push boundaries and drive innovation. Yellows bring lightness and creativity, helping us see possibilities we might otherwise miss. Greens remind us of the importance of relationships and emotional connection, while blues ensure we don't lose sight of precision and quality. Erikson ends the book with a call to action: to approach the world with curiosity, empathy, and a willingness to adapt. By recognizing and celebrating the differences in others, we can create a more harmonious and productive society. The DISC system isn't just a tool for better communication, it's a framework for a more inclusive and understanding world. As the book closes, the message is clear. We're not surrounded by idiots, we're surrounded by potential. It's up to us to recognize it. So, what's the big takeaway from Surrounded by Idiots? The people around you aren't actually idiots, they're just different. By understanding the four personality colors reds, yellows, greens, and blues, you can learn to communicate more effectively, reduce misunderstandings, and build stronger, more meaningful connections. This book isn't just about categorizing people. It's about learning to appreciate and leverage their unique strengths. Reds drive progress, yellows inspire creativity, greens nurture stability, and blues bring precision. Together, these differences create a richer, more balanced world, whether you're in a workplace, a family, or a friendship group. But here's the challenge Erikson leaves us with: understanding others begins with understanding yourself. When you become self-aware, you can adapt to others' needs without losing who you are. That's the key to better relationships, less stress, and a more harmonious life. If you found this summary insightful or relatable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Let us know in the comments. Which color do you think best describes you? And how will you use these insights to improve your relationships? Hit that notification bell so you don't miss more deep dives into life-changing books like this one. Thanks for listening, and remember, you're not surrounded by idiots, you're surrounded by potential. See you next time.